Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests in the room. Good evening. Starting off with the business session for today's meeting. The first announcement that I have is from the Vice President Membership Toastmasters Sindhushri side, and that is for the renewals for the next term, that is for the next 6 months, that is from October to March. So this renewal payment will be for the next 6 months in order to continue your Toastmaster membership and be, continue taking in the benefits of being a member. You will have to renew your membership, and the rate of renewal is 930 rupees per month, and 930 into 6 is 5,580 rupees. So this will be the renewal amount. So within the next couple of days, you will be seeing a message on WhatsApp shared by either our VPM or our treasurer about every single detail, the bank account, the renewal amounts, and please note that we prefer e-transfers, and once you've made the payment, you will have to share the screenshot with our treasurer, Toastmaster Sai Snell Reddy, and our VP membership, Toastmasters Sindhushri. Now, that is one way to make the payment, that is straight away sending 5,580 into our bank account, into the Macon bank account, or else there is also another way to do it. It's called the self-pay method, given to you by Toastmasters International. And for that, you have to log into your Toastmasters International portal, into your account, and straight away send $60 to Toastmasters International directly. And this can only be done through a credit card, anybody's credit card that you have. Over and above this, we charge an extra amount for our renewals as usual. So above this, you will have to send 480 rupees to the Macon bank account as well. So do not fret, either of the methods you will be paying more or less the same amount in terms of rupees. So the only benefit of the self-pay mode is your renewal happens right in front of you, right there, and it also helps the club by reducing the burden on the treasurer's credit card as well. So you have both these options in order to renew your membership. Any doubts regarding renewal, you can always come to me or Vice President Membership Toastmasters Sindhushri as well. So that concludes the announcement. With that, let us have the Vice President Education's announcement from Toastmaster Pavani.
Very good evening, fellow Toastmasters. So the next week, 9th of September, the roles which have been booked are: the MC has been booked by Toastmaster Ravikumar, Table Topic Master has been booked by Toastmaster Apoorva, and G role has been booked by Toastmaster Lata. 3 speech slots have been booked by Toastmaster Vaishnavi, Toastmaster Anirudh, and Toastmaster Gajendra. The Evaluator roles and the TAPG roles are open, and I request all the members to contact me for the same. Coming to the most important announcement, that is table topics and evaluation contests will be held on September 23rd. The first and the second place winners will go to the area level contest happening in October. The date and venue for the same will be indicated later, and I urge all the members to actively participate in this contest and make the best out of it, and please give your names for the contest as soon as possible to me. And if you have any doubts, please feel free to reach out to me or to the president. We'll be happy to help you out. In case of any doubts regarding the contest or how the contest happens, anything, you can please reach out to us. Thank you, and back to you, President.
Thank you. With that, we can conclude the business session. Over to the sergeant.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. And
Good evening.
The Underground Railway is a network of secret tunnels and stations that basically in the 19th century helped enslaved African Americans escape from the slavery from the south of the USA to the north of the USA and Canada. So it's not a little railway, it's just like a code term that they use. So the railway refers to the secret network of tunnels, and stations refer to safe houses that they can stay in, and conductors refer to the people that help them navigate through this network or help them plan their journey through this network. Now, the North Star, I'm sure all of you would have heard about what it is. Basically, like if you look at the night sky and there's only one star left, that's pretty much the North Star. It's always there shining, and throughout history and literature, it's always been described as a beacon of hope or a guiding light, especially in legends of sailors who went missing at sea. They find their way back home by following the North Star. Now, Harriet Tubman, she was the most famous conductor in this underground railway, and for the following reasons. She helped hundreds of people escape from the south to the north through this network by making many journeys back and forth from the north and south. And whenever she would take a group of people on this journey, or she would plan someone else's journey for them, she would tell them always follow the Big Dipper constellation, and this constellation basically always points towards the North Star. So basically she was saying, if you get lost, follow the North Star and you'll find your way home. So in this story we see two different kinds of lights to someone's path. One is the North Star, which is more of like a direct or like metaphorical way of saying, oh, this is your guiding light, like follow this and you'll go home. And the other one is Harriet Tubman herself, who is a physical representation of someone who's guiding someone along their path to a better destination. And we all have people in our lives who guide us along the right path. Right? It could be friends, it could be family, it could be our teachers, it could be our elders, and it could also be us as well. The decisions that we make for us in the end lead us down the path that we deserve to go down. I don't know if you all know this, but Mekon Communication Club also has its own guiding light that's leading it down this Toastmasters path. This guiding light is an MCOM graduate from Jain University who's pursuing his USCPA. He is an avid reader, he is a sports enthusiast, he's a passionate quizzer, and I try not to keep repeating this, but he is also my mentor and it just fits the theme. He is my guiding light in my Toastmasters journey. So everybody please help me in welcoming the President of Mekon Communication Club to the lectern, President Toastmaster Shivaprasad.
Thanks a ton for that extremely sweet introduction, Toastmaster Shreya. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests in the room. Let me start this meeting off by first addressing the most important people in our room, and those are the guests. So I see one guest in our room today. So if you can just stand up from wherever you are and tell us how you came to know about the club and what you do outside in your life. That would be amazing. Yes.
Hello everyone, I am U Bhat, coming from Tamil Nadu, working as a software developer in G Omega Infotech Private Limited. By my VP, I know this place by exploring how to communicate with people. For that, I
Welcome. Welcome, U Bhat, and I hope you truly enjoy our meeting today and take something back to learn. So with that, let us have the minutes of the previous meeting number 1279 from our Acting Secretary, Toastmaster Pavani.
Once again, a very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Here are the minutes of meeting number 1279 held on 26th of August 2024. Theme Control plus Alt plus Delete. Word of the week, Brainiac. The business session started at 6:18 p.m. and was chaired by President Toastmaster Shivaprasad. In the business session, the following announcements were made by VPE Toastmaster Pavani. Inform the club about the roles and slots which are booked and open for meeting number 1280. Interested members were requested to contact her for the same. Educational session on speech evaluations by DTM Sudheesh on 2nd September 2024. There will be a club contest on 23rd of September 2024 on table topics and evaluations. The regular meeting started at 6:20 p.m. Acting Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Chetan started the meeting with an introduction about the theme and later handed over the charge to President Toastmaster Shivaprasad. President Shivaprasad opened the meeting, spoke on the theme and introduced the Master of Ceremonies Toastmaster Lata. Master of Ceremonies Toastmaster Lata spoke on the theme and introduced the following role takers for the day. Timer Toastmaster Pavani, Accountant Toastmaster Rachana, Grammarian Toastmaster Sanjay, PP Evaluator Toastmaster Madhusudan. The prepared speech session had the following speeches. Speaker 1 Toastmaster Jia, attempting level 1 project 1 evaluated by Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. Speaker 2 Toastmaster Sakshi, attempting level 1 project 2 evaluated by Toastmaster Chetan. Speaker 3 Toastmaster Apoorva, attempting level 4 project 1 evaluated by DTM U Bhat. The table topic session was conducted by Toastmaster Saket and had 5 speakers in total. The general evaluation was conducted by Toastmaster Raja. The winners of the week were Best Prepared Speaker Toastmaster Sakshi, Best Evaluator Toastmaster Chetan, Best Table Topic Speaker Guest Rishabh, Best Role Taker TAPG Toastmaster Madhusudan and Toastmaster Pavani, Best Role Taker MTG Toastmaster Rajaprasad. The President closed the meeting at 8:16 p.m. which was followed by the National Anthem. Thank you and back to you, President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pavani, for reading out the minutes of the meeting. Just one small change that the acting secretary can maybe note down. Toastmaster Madhusudan was the Grammarian last week and not the PP evaluator. So that one change will have to be made. Other than that, are there any changes proposed to the minutes of the previous meeting? If not, I consider them as accepted and open meeting number 1208. There are very few things in life that are as rewarding or as fulfilling or as worth doing, such as helping those around you and helping them light their own path and finding their way through life. My fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests, let me take you all back to the month of May in the year 1999. Mekon Communication Club was just getting chartered. Distinguished Toastmaster U Bhat was still working at Mekon Limited. Toastmaster Apoorva was probably going to school. Toastmaster Madhusudan was a little kid, and I wasn't even born yet. The ICC Cricket World Cup was just about to commence in England, and a lot of other things were happening in the world. And during this time, in a completely different world altogether, called Ladakh, something weird was happening. The Indian Armed Forces had received reports of suspicious activity along or in and around the line of control between India and Pakistan. And during this time, in the month of May 1999, there was one soldier in particular. Well, there were many soldiers who went on patrols investigating this matter. But there was one particular man that I want to tell you all about. He was a lieutenant, later became captain, Captain Saurabh Kalia. Along with him, he had 5 other men, sepoys. And these people, they went on a routine patrol along the Bajrang post, which is 13 to 14,000 feet above sea level. So their job, it was a routine patrol. They were going there to see if the snow from winter had retreated so that the army could take back its positions. And as soon as they went there, they were met with heavy fire from the enemy. Now these 6 people had limited ammunition and they fought bravely, valiantly with the enemy. And they called headquarters that there are a lot of people here, a lot of people have infiltrated, they have come across the line of control towards India. And they asked for reinforcements. And this battle ensured they ran out of ammunition. And as you might have guessed, the enemy surrounded them, took them prisoner. And when reinforcements arrived, they realized these people had vanished. They were either killed or captured. And it was after this event, after these 6 men disappeared, that the Indian Armed Forces realized that it was not just a few militants here and there in Kashmir, but hundreds and hundreds of guerrilla warriors had crossed the line of control into India and had taken very sophisticated machinery, weaponry, and had come here and occupied strategic positions on hilltops and on roads, etc. And they were ready to attack. And the rest of it is history, you know. The Indian government launched the Operation Vijay, which the armed forces vanquished the enemy. Operation Safed Sagar, the Air Force destroyed the enemy. And within a couple of months, the massive odyssey that followed, the Kargil War, came to an end. But these 6 men that I told you about, Captain Saurabh Kalia and his patrol, they had been taken prisoner, and what the Pakistani army did with them, you can Google it if you have the heart to read it. But their sacrifice, what I'm drawing to here, was what lighted the path for those that came after them. And fellow Toastmasters, I was this person long back when I joined this club. I will come here, I'll give my speeches, I'll go back home, I'm done. But it was only when I realized, when I heard these wonderful stories of sacrifice, of valor, of bravery, that I realized that it gives a lot of meaning to people. So much so that they would even go ahead and sacrifice their life to help other people and light their path as well. Fellow Toastmasters, we don't live in those harsh conditions, we don't deal with life or death conditions. All that we have to sacrifice is our time. Look at those people around you who need your help. Go ahead and help them. Maybe that evaluation you give in your club, which is just 3 minutes, dedicate all those 3 minutes for the benefit of that person. And you will find that joy when that person you have helped, when whose path you have lit up, comes here and you can see that they've improved. That feeling is something that can't be matched at all. And as Ralph Waldo Emerson put it, to know that even one life has breathed easy because you have lived, that is to have succeeded. And speaking of light the path, about 6 months back, performing this leadership role in Toastmasters, at a point I felt that my path had gone dark. I felt that there was no light on it. I felt that I could not continue anymore as VP Education. And that was when one person came forward and said, Shiva, I'm with you. And boom, my path lit back up again. And I'm here as your president today. And I'd like to tell you about that person. She's a BCom graduate, currently pursuing her MBA from Christ University. She has a deep passion for mandala art, and which lets her be creative. Music and dance is what she finds is where she finds her passion, and she also loves watching sunsets, and her dream destination is to go to Australia. With a huge round of applause, please give it up for our Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Pavani.
Thank you, President, for that pleasant and wonderful introduction. Once again, a very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Good evening. So 2 months back from my college, we had went out for this outbound training, which we call OBT at Ramnagar. So there were a lot of physical activities and team building activities, like playing team building activities, rappelling, zipline, trekking, and much more. So all of us were involved in it, and they had taken off our phones for 2 days. So that's why we had no other choice other than interacting with each other and getting to know each other much better. So we were engrossed so much that we did not even think about the phones or to take pictures or anything like that. We had only few phones to take pictures except that. So what happened on the first day, we had to go for a night trek which was planned, and usually we thought it would be around 5:30 to 6 o'clock in the evening, but since it was raining cats and dogs, they postponed it to around 7:30, 8 o'clock. So I was in this fear, like how do we night trek and we just have the torches with us, and I was trembling with fear, like how will I even manage going to this night trek. Even the guide had told us that you will not be allowed to use the torches because it might wake up few animals, and it might disturb them. So we were not allowed to use the torches as well. So I was shook. I was like, how will I even do it? Then they told, it's okay, you can just rely on the natural light and just follow the path of the guides and just follow your group. Every step I took, I was very cautious. I was trembling with fear, and I was 100% sure that I would trip over a branch or trip over some root of the tree and fall for sure, or maybe straight land up to some spider web and scream out loud. Then, even in that fear, I have no idea what I did, but I took small steps, went slowly along with the group, but that fear was still in me. Then came this one friend of mine who just started talking to me, and we had a very deep conversations about some random topic, and by the time I realized, and I had already reached the hill. Then all I realized was that fear of spiders or snakes had completely faded away with that conversation that I had involved so much with him. So here all I want to say is, for me, light the path did not mean getting rid of the darkness. It meant finding the right kind of light. A friend who made this odyssey more enjoyable, like the night trek more enjoyable. Just like how my friend lit the path and helped me during the night trek, Ralph C. Smedley lit the path for all of us by founding Toastmasters 100 years ago. He created a space for us to learn and build on our communication and leadership skills. It all began in YMCA Santana, California in 1924, and now it has a global reach of 270,000 plus members across 148 countries with 14,200 plus clubs. Mekon Communication Club, established in 1998, is a shining example of how the light he sparked continues to guide us and inspire us every day. So coming to the typical Toastmasters meeting, there are 3 sessions. First is the prepared speech session, where the speakers get desired amount of time to prepare on a topic of their choice according to the pathways. Second is the table topic session, where we call the speakers, we call the members randomly and give them a topic for which they want to respond for a minute or 2. Lastly, it is the general evaluation session, where the meetings, proceedings of the meetings and the role takers are being evaluated. So now it is time to hear it from our TAPG team. So firstly, I would like to call Toastmaster Rachana as the timer to give her brief introduction about the role.
Good evening, everyone. As the timer, I will be timing everyone's speeches. So for today, we have an educational speech and the table topic speeches. I will indicate when the time is nearing to an end for each speech with these flags. So for the educational speech, the time allotted is 25 plus 10, I believe. And at the 20-minute mark, I'll raise the green flag. At the 25-minute mark, the yellow flag. And at the 35-minute mark, the red flag. For the table topic speeches, each speech should be, the maximum time allotted is 2 minutes. So 1 to 2 minutes. At the 1 minute mark, I'll raise the green flag. At the 1.5 minute mark, I'll raise the yellow flag. And then at the 2 minute mark, the red flag. There is a time deterrent, so for the table topics. So after I raise the red flag, you can go on for 30 seconds, but no more. If you do, you won't be counted in for the ribbon. I will give my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rachana. Next, we have our counter, Toastmaster Bhavana.
Good evening, everyone. So, as your counter today, I'll be. My role is to help us all become more aware of the filler words and crutch words that we use. They include and some of the repeated words like and, so, and I'll also be noting down the pauses. I'll give my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavana. Next, we have our Grammarian for today, Toastmaster Akshay.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I am a Grammarian for the meeting. My job is to note down which all the speakers have used the word of the day, and it is my responsibility to note down all the good usages and not so good usages used by all the speakers. I have to introduce you all to the word of the day. It is Odyssey, meaning a long and eventful or adventurous journey or an experience. Usage: Toastmasters has been an incredible odyssey for me. I request everyone to use the word of the day more often. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay. Lastly, we have our PP Evaluator, Toastmaster Madhusudan.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. As your PP Evaluator, it is my duty to tell you to refrain from speaking about sex, politics, or religion. Please enter and exit the room only during applause. Please keep your phones on silent or on airplane mode, and please ensure there are no crosstalks when someone is speaking. I'll give you my report at the general evaluations. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Madhusudan. So without any further ado, let's just begin the educational session for today. So today we have the privilege of learning from a person whose journey is as inspiring as the stories he tells. He is someone who had an odyssey from being a rebel in his childhood, questioning every aspect of life and finding peace in nature. In 2019, he began a new journey with Toastmasters, guided with passion for storytelling and desire to refine his speaking skills. As he walked this path, he mastered the art of voice modulation. His dedication paved the way for him to become the second runner-up in the International Speech Contest in 2021-2022 and to reach the district semi-finals in both Evaluation Contest and International Speech Contest in the following year. Despite these achievements, he remains a humble learner, always eager to discover new opportunities through Toastmasters. Today, he is here to share his insights and experiences with us in this educational session titled Be an Impactful Critic. Be an Impactful Critic. With a thunderous round of applause, please help me welcome DTM Sudheesh.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
evening. Well, I remember the first day when I evaluated someone. Of course, my Vice President Education had pushed me to take up that role. Sudheesh, it's quite easy. Evaluating another person? Yeah. You have to look for certain aspects. Look at the eye contact, voice modulation. In case if you don't get anything, feel those things and that's it. And that's exactly what I did. I said, hey Ramesh, your eye contact would have been better because you are only focusing on this side. You should have focused on the other side as well. Voice modulation, oh man, you're amazing. Your voice modulation skills are perfect. Does it sound familiar to some of you that you have done the same thing when you are asked to evaluate?
Yes.
Yes. Almost everyone, right? Probably your Vice President Education would have pushed you, or you are trying to complete that level 1 and you are at the last page where you have to go and evaluate someone. But you were not quite sure about the nitty-gritties of evaluating a speech. Well, today we are going to understand the structure of evaluation, how to give an amazing evaluation. So the title of today's session is Be an Impactful Critic. Alright, so the first I'm going to talk about the structure of today's segment, right? So we are going to have the introduction. When it comes to evaluation, I'm going to focus more from the contest perspective, considering that you are going to participate in contest. How many of you are willing to participate in contest, the evaluation contest? Yes. What about others? You're still not quite sure? Or maybe you need some time?
After this session.
After this session, yeah, that gives me clarity. So today, we are going to focus on the structure of evaluation. What is the structure of evaluation? For evaluation contest, it is going to be 3 minutes 30 seconds. That's the time limit for evaluation. So first you are going to have an introduction wherein you have to introduce the speaker or how he has delivered his presentation. So introduction probably you can take up to 30 seconds. Then core evaluation, which consists of content, delivery and different techniques. So when I say core evaluation, it includes whatever aspects that you look at in the speech. For example, eye contact, I said, voice modulation is something, or maybe you are focusing more on the content. So that's the core evaluation. And finally, the summation. So you can take up to 30 seconds. So overall, 3 minutes, I'd say, considering that you may go here and there, 30 seconds is a buffer time. So there is a myth that, okay, you can conclude your evaluation the moment you see the red card. That is definitely a myth because you may overshoot your time. And obviously, you get marks in case if you summarize properly. So this structure, if you are very clear, it's easy for us to move further. Are you clear?
Yes.
Yes. So you need to have the introduction, core evaluation, and summation. And overall time is 3 minutes 30 seconds, but obviously you can take up to 30 seconds for the introduction, probably 2 minutes for core evaluation, probably 10 or 20 seconds here and there is fine, summation 30 seconds. So overall it will take, as per this, 3 minutes, but 30 seconds buffer for you to breathe. Now when it comes to the contest, this is the judges' ballot. So I'm going to hit right after the introduction slide about what the judges look at when you evaluate something.
Can you increase the font size?
Obviously, yeah. All right. Thank you, Pavani. So first one is analytical quality. So that carries 40 marks. That's what the judges will look at. Then the recommendations carries 30 marks. Then the technique, what is the technique that used? 15 marks. And summation, 15 marks. I remember the last time I lost the area contest because I felt I did not summarize properly. As I said, you all make mistakes. Sometimes you forget to summarize. Or sometimes that word doesn't come out from you that to summarize, to conclude in a nutshell. These are the kind of words that you have to use so that the judges know that he is summarizing or the audience know that yes, that is the conclusion. And look at this, 15 marks. In case if you get timed out before that, you lost the contest already. So ensure that you give ample time when you're giving your evaluation. Understand the structure properly. What does the judges look at in my evaluation? He is looking at, or he or she is looking at the analytical quality. Recommendations, how did you give the recommendation? Was it positive? Was it focused? Yes, that's what they are going to look at. And what is the technique that you use? And finally, the summation. Is that clear from the judges' perspective? Yes. Now, when it comes to the introduction, the speech has been concluded. Now you are giving the evaluation of that speech. These are the different methods that I have seen people use. First one is quotes. So the speech is about, for example, maybe the force, strongest force. So you remember that, yes, Gandhiji once said something. Yes, I know that quote very well. So probably I connect with that quote. Gandhiji once said, love is the strongest force the world possesses. And today, our target speaker spoke about love or the force. Yes. So you connect the speech with that quote. If you have a lot of quotes in your mind, definitely you can connect. But it needs a lot of words. Probably it will not come easily for the novice speaker because you don't have that many quotes. So reading is really important. And when you see that something that's very important, the quote that kinds of attracts you, note it down and remember. Always when you're traveling, try to remember, yes. Probably then, that time, when you're giving the evaluation, you can connect well with that speech, with that quote. The second one is the statement. You can give a generic statement. For example, over here, I've given like, the speech was all about be like water. So probably you would start something, giving a general statement or generic statement that today what we saw was about water, how the water flows. Like water, the speech was flowing, something of that sort. A generic statement about the speech is another method where how you can start the introduction of the speech. Then the third one was the impact on you. How did the speaker make you feel? Thank you very much, Shivaprasad, for that wonderful presentation. What I really loved about your evaluation was, or the speech was ABC. So that's how you start. So is that clear about the introduction, different techniques that you can use? Quotes, a general statement, or what's the impact on you? How did the speaker make you feel? It was a wonderful speech, it's an amazing speech, but you have to justify. Now, when it comes to core evaluation from the contest perspective, again I'm covering, these are the different aspects that you look at. Eye contact, body language, stage usage, confidence, vocal variety, structure, message, personal connect. As I said, your recommendations and the techniques that you use, the analytical quality, that carries the maximum mark. That means 40 plus 30, that's 70 plus again 15, 85 marks for these aspects. So your core evaluation should be focused more towards the content and also how the speaker is using his eye contact, the stage movement, body language, the structure, the content. We'll cover all these in detail in the upcoming slides, and the personal connect. So the reason why we say that you need to have a personal connect is, imagine that you're talking about a train journey, right? And you are traveling in the train and you were not welcomed by people, you were kicked out, thrown out, and while you are speaking, people think that, oh, I still remember this story. Probably this story, I heard it somewhere. That's not your story because that was Mr. Gandhiji. He was on the way in somewhere in South Africa and he was kicked out. Yes, so that is why your personal story matters, not someone else's. Not Gandhiji's, not Albert Einstein's. It is your personal story. When you say your story, yes, it comes from here, not from there. It comes from here. You feel it. Audience feel it. So absolutely, you need to have a personal story, in my opinion, when you are a speaker. So if the speaker has that personal connect, obviously everybody will feel it because it all comes from the heart. So eye contact, body language, stage usage, confidence, vocal variety, structure. Structure means opening, body, conclusion, message, and finally the personal connect. So far we covered the introduction, the core evaluation section. Now we will go in more detailed way. What does constructive evaluation mean to you? So constructive evaluation means chaos. So it must be clear when you are giving the evaluation, it must be more focused. I remember when I gave the club contest evaluation, I said, Mr. Target Speaker, this speech is not ideal. I feel that it's not ideal for community club. If you had delivered the same speech in a corporate club, obviously you would have got more applaud. Yes, obviously. So in case if the speaker is talking about artificial intelligence and machine language in a corporate or community club where the speakers or the members of diverse background, doctors, chartered accountants, some of them might not know what he's talking about. So your target audience definitely matters, and what you're talking about also really matters. So when you're giving the feedback, it has to be clear. It must be actionable and timely. Has to be respectful. The reason why I'm saying respectful is, I remember I have given an evaluation to an icebreaker speech. I was a bit harsh on the speaker. Obviously, I was also a beginner back then, and it was quite harsh on him that I never seen him coming back to the club. Probably would have given some kind of feedback that Mr. X, your speech was fantastic, but where's the body language? Where were you looking? So if you give that kind of evaluation, obviously there's no respect that the other person can feel. We all made mistakes, but probably should have connected with him offline and said like, I'm sorry that if you felt that way, I did not mean it really. So you have to be respectful. That is what the respect in Toastmasters means, right? Core values. You have to be respectful. Imagine that the other person also is giving his 7 minutes. He would have prepared, spent a lot of time working on the script, work with the mentor, and he is delivering the speech. Even if it is the worst speech in your opinion, probably would not go that harsh. Rather, will be respectful. Try to find something that is of very good, positive aspects that you cover, and then give with a bit of butter, sugar, I would say, give that recommendations. So respect, empathetic. So I remember my manager back then when I was working with McAfee was a lady who was in the US. And she has a method of connecting with me in a way that she was not direct. But I was more feeling that, okay, I have to have here direct communication. But she was saying that in case if there's some work that I have to do, she would say, Sudheesh, I was wondering if you would take this up maybe next week. There's no hurry, right? Probably next week you can take it up and you can complete. I said, lazy. You have to be direct with me in case if you have to tell me something. But over a period of time, I realized that that's not the way to give feedback. You have to give feedback in a structural way, with the positive aspects first, then probably the work that you have to give, the recommendations, then that is the way. So lazy, in my opinion, was right because she had given me that respect, she had appreciated me that way. I felt that it was the right way. But it takes years for you to realize what's the right way. Probably it may take years for you as well. Then specific. So in case if you are giving the feedback, you have to be specific. What exactly you are focusing on? As I said, I was specific that this speech doesn't work in a community club. This works better in a corporate club. That specific feedback, because it doesn't work. You need to have that kind of courage to say in case if something is not working out, You can be direct, but you have to be specific why you are saying so, because the audience matters, right? So when you are giving feedback, you have to be respectful, empathetic, specific. It has to be actionable and timely, and it needs to be clear. Any doubts so far? All right, so moving on. Now let's focus on the content aspect of the speech. So when I talk about the evaluation, I'll cover both the speaker and the evaluator as well, right? So when I'm evaluating a speech, what exactly I'd be looking at from the content perspective? As I said, authenticity. Is he or she talking about his own speech, or is he talking about Mr. Gandhi's experience? But you have, as a listener, you will definitely know whether it is authentic or not. You don't have to research, you will know. If you know, definitely the judges also would know, because the judges would be one among you. So you have to be authentic. See that the speech, is he or she talking about her own experience? Does it sound like authentic? The second one, characterization. Probably you are giving the icebreaker speech, and you will have multiple aspects of you. Your childhood, your adulthood, and your corporate life. So how he or she is characterizing the speech? Are the characters well connected? Maybe your speech has your mother, your parents, your wife, your kids. So are those characters extra, or the characters are required? Most of the time what happens with my speeches is that I talk about my grandma said something, then sometimes grandpa will come, but grandpa is never there further. So are the characters fully utilized? Maybe you need to have 3-4 characters who are the main characters of your speech, and they are used very well, right? Or just like, okay, the bus conductor is coming, I was going in the bus, then the bus conductor said something of that sort, but the bus conductor, he never comes again. So the characters are not used fully. So characterization, then the speech probably is about the change. So most of the time, a very well written speech would have some sort of problem solution. That's one thing. Or the past and present. I was going through depression, and over a period of time, I learned how to overcome depression. I met someone, maybe I went for yoga classes, I went for some classes, then I'm changed now, right? So your past, your present, then problem and solution. Then sometimes you will see that there are speeches where you are talking about something, but that is never closed. So how many of you have seen this year's International Speech Contest winner speech? All right. So how did the speakers open the speech?
I actually saw it today morning.
All right. Okay, no worries.
So she was talking about trying out for a triathlon. I think this was a 2023 winner.
No, I just want to understand the opening scene if you remember.
So she starts with a very dramatic introduction of, it was my birthday, and instead of having a party or something, I decided I would go for a triathlon despite having no experience in swimming, biking, or running. That's how she started.
All right, probably it's a different speech. But the speech that I'm talking about, she met with an accident, right? She was paralyzed. So the first story, or the first opening scene was, it's clear, 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 right? And the end of the speech is again, she's coming back to connecting with that one, it's clear now, right? Likewise, also there is a scene where she's talking about, she was dreaming that she had gone to heaven, and Saint Peter's was on the iPad, and he had reset the iPad. I was like, okay, why is she talking about resetting the iPad? But that resetting is coming back again later in the speech, saying that it is time for you to reset your past. So likewise, you should never leave anything open for the audience to imagine. You must leave all the open-ended questions closed. So in your speech, when you're evaluating the speech, you see that, okay, there is the opening scene, but he never closed that scene. He spoke about his childhood, then he has moved on to adulthood and other things. And he said like, okay, my childhood was traumatic, I had issues, but what are those issues? He did not close that one. So when you listen to the speech, you try to understand if the speaker has closed all the loops for the audience, or did he leave it to the audience to think that, okay, maybe the audience would take it that way. The last one is memorable. So when you have an amazing speech, for example, this was a speech that was delivered at our club by a speaker, don't try to fit in where you don't belong. That was the message that she wanted to deliver, don't try to fit in where you don't belong. And she kept on calling back on that one, saying that my childhood, I was not fitting there, and my friends were not helping me. So I felt that, okay, I was not fitting among them. Again, she was using the callback. Don't try to fit in where you don't belong. So twice or thrice when she was using those callbacks, I realized, yes, this is the message. The message is clear. Don't try to fit in where you don't belong. Her childhood, she was feeling that, okay, she was neglected by her parents. Adulthood, her friends neglected her. She felt that, okay, she was a burden. She did not feel that she was one among them. So when you have a speech, make it memorable. Did the speaker use the callbacks? Is the message crystal clear to you? What is the message that the speaker is trying to deliver? Is it clear? Did he use the callbacks? Did he use other techniques? Is it revolving around a problem solution? Or is he talking about the past, present, and how did he evolve? All those aspects. Thank you, Dan. Now the second part when it comes to content is call to action. So I listened to the 7-minute speech, but what is in for me? Is there something for me? Is there a strong call to action? Sudheesh, don't waste your energy. Go green. You talk about go green, and in case you are not contributing to the green, you feel that, okay, he's talking all about go green, but how did he contribute to go green? What is the message for me? What should I take away from his speech? What is the call to action? Call to action, is there a call to action in the speech? Then what is the benefit? For example, again, I've given women empowerment. How have you contributed to women empowerment? In case if you are talking about women empowerment, how did you contribute? Did you help someone in need? Then the audience connect actually. So when you have a speech, you would have seen like many of the speakers using, you have a diversified audience from elderly people to youngsters to college-going students. So it is impossible for your speech to connect with everyone. But there are different techniques that the speakers use. What are the techniques that I often use? Have you ever come across the same situation? That means I'm asking everyone. Probably in case if you have seen other speeches as well, they would be asking like, have you ever come across this situation? Or is someone from your family going through a similar situation? That means he's trying to connect with everyone from the audience. So audience connect is another aspect that you would look at from the content perspective. Now when it comes to delivery, so I felt over the period of time I was feeling that, okay, maybe the international speech contest is all about the content, but of late I felt that it's a bit of like drama and bit of like the delivery methods that also carries value. When you are focused, when you are confident, definitely the judges also feel that yes, he or she is delivering an amazing speech with a crispy message, crystal clear, right? So your delivery style also matters. How are you using the vocal variety, the speed, pitch and volume, body language, gestures and posture. For example, is the speaker using the hands like this, or is he opening up to the audience to welcome everyone? So your hand gestures matters, body language matters, the stage usage, is he moving around when he is talking about different aspects of his life. All these matters. Now let's talk about the techniques. What are the techniques that most of the evaluators use is the sandwich method. So sandwich method is something where you have the introduction, you have the core evaluation, you have the summation. So everything put together, where you start by talking about the positive aspect of the speech, right? Positive aspects, what are the positive things? Toastmaster Ramesh, what I really loved about your presentation is your eye contact. Your eye contact was crystal clear because you were focusing on everyone from the audience. I could feel that you were looking at me. So that's one thing that you did. Then moving on to the recommendation. If I was you, I would try to deliver it in a different angle. If you use the stage in a more composed way. central message from the center, and probably your childhood or adulthood on the side, from the side. If you had used the stage properly, that would have been better. So positive aspects, the recommendations, and the summation. So that is the sandwich method, positive, constructive feedback, and again you're concluding by giving the positive end with the summation. The other techniques that some of the evaluators use is using acronyms. For example, he or she will try to remember the core points and say that, okay, PACE, Toastmaster, Ramya. What I really loved about your presentation was the usage of pauses. So that's the P. The way how you use the pauses was amazing. And I also loved how you articulated when you spoke about your childhood. I really loved it. If you could work a little bit on the characterization and probably deliver the speech with more empathy, yes, you would, your speech would have been on the other side. So it would be much more elevated. So that is the pace. Any acronym that you use, but you can use, but again, it comes with practice. It doesn't come naturally, and it needs a bit of practice in case if you have to fit in a specific acronym for the evaluation. Again, the thumb rule is don't try to use such a long acronym. No one will be able to remember. Finally, the summation is how to summarize. As I said, 15 minutes definitely you will lose in case if you don't summarize. So to conclude, these are the kind of words that you use. To conclude, in a nutshell, to summarize, to sum up, Toastmaster Ramesh, your eye contact was fantastic, voice modulation was amazing. If you could work a bit on the usage of the stage and articulation, definitely your speech would be at an elevated level. For the summation, do not rush up, I would say, because every time you remember, you listen to any speech, contest speech, at least one among the five, I would say, would lose mark on summation because he or she would be rushing up and there is no time. 3 minutes is up, as I said. Then you see the red card, you have to conclude, you just get 15 seconds. Okay. Now, as you asked for evaluating a project speech versus a contest speech, what would be the difference? In case if you know that how to evaluate a club project speech and a contest speech, what's the difference in one?
At the club level, the evaluation is focused on the speaker, right? At the contest, you're thinking about yourself as well, putting up a bit of a performance for the judges.
Okay, this is more from the pathways perspective, not from the club contest perspective. You are evaluating a specific project versus you are evaluating a contest speech. You are participating in an evaluation contest and evaluating a speech versus you are evaluating a project.
The project speech is you are delivering on projects what have been assigned to you and you are doing it.
Right.
Here contest is you are going to compare with the other speakers also.
Right.
So that is the difference between.
We judge their understanding of the project itself, right?
Sorry, could you repeat?
If it's a project speech, we also judge the understanding of the project itself,
Alright.
which is not there in the contest speech.
Alright. Your good name, sir? Your good name?
My name is Matt. Project speech, I feel that has got two parts: the project and the speech. So we'll have to evaluate both the things. A contest speech is, it can be on any subject or any project. So it has to be done on more generic terms than a project speech. Project speech has to be, we have to evaluate whether he has learned what has been, what Chetan has told, whether he is internalized, whether he is imbibed that. It is an evaluation test. Or leadership styles. Have you understood what are the leadership styles available? That also should be brought about in the evaluation. This is not a case of a contest where we are mainly catering to the judges. What they expect a speech to be evaluated as.
Right.
And a speech in a general way, not as a specific project.
Yeah. Good. Your good name?
But
Me.
Your good name?
My name is U Bhat.
U Bhat. Okay, let's get up for U Bhat. So let's see. What is the difference between evaluating a pathways project and a contest speech? As U Bhat said, when you are evaluating a pathways project, there is an objective that you have to evaluate. For example, one of the speech objective is to write a speech with a purpose. That is the objective of the speech. So as an evaluator, your number one priority is to focus towards the objective. Did the speaker give justice to the objective of that specific project? That is, write a speech with a purpose. So that is the focus. Your core evaluation should be around that objective. Now, on the other hand, for the contest speech, it is vast. It can be an inspirational speech, a humorous speech, a portrait speech, anything. A motivational speech, there is no objective. That is why the evaluation aspects are very vast. That is the second aspect. Evaluation aspects are very vast because there is no objective. I can talk about eye contact, I can talk about the content, the stage usage, the gestures, I can talk about anything. But on the other hand, the project speech has to be more specific towards the objective. So that means you have limited aspects for core evaluation because your core evaluation is more focused towards the objectives. Did the speaker write the speech with a purpose? What is the message? Does it have a proper format, structure, opening, body, conclusion? That's what your focus is. But on the other hand, the core evaluation is wide open. You don't know what kind of speech the speaker is giving and what all aspects of that you have to look at, right? So that's why the core evaluation aspects that we covered, eye contact, body language, the content, the callback, the message, everything matters when it comes to the contest. I will give you one example. In the area contest again last year, we all evaluated one speech. And we gave different aspects as evaluators. When I went to my mentor, he said, Sudheesh, you all gave wonderful evaluation, but you missed one aspect of the speech that was obvious. That was the grammar. None of you spoke about the grammar aspect of the speech. And I was like, yeah, because that was obvious. That you would feel. As I said, for the evaluation contest, it is vast. So you can talk about anything. Sometimes you feel that this is what I have to focus on, or this is what I'm going to focus on. But it is very vast. It can be grammar, eye contact, stage usage, content, but how you give justice to the evaluation, that will decide whether you are the winner or not. Because you have to give justice. When you're giving a recommendation, give recommendation in a way that you say, yeah, this is well because I observed this, and the reason why I'm saying this is ABC. You have to justify the reason why you are giving that recommendation. Now, the project speech priority is given to the objective. As an evaluator, the words must come to you through your mouth that, okay, Toastmaster Rajesh, the objectives of the speech is met. That must be your priority when you are giving a pathways project. That should be heard. Yes, the objectives of the speech is met or not met. Wherein, when you're evaluating the content speech, you will look from a content perspective. What's the content? Is the message clear? The content message that would carry the maximum marks for a contest speech. Your focus should be the content. On the content, how did the speaker give justice to the content? Is the transition smooth when he was talking about his childhood? Was the transition smooth from childhood to his adulthood? So all these things matters. Is that clear? Any doubt on the project speech versus contest speech?
Clear.
Clear. Now, finally the cheat sheet. So as I said, I had gone for the Einstein effect. I'll say that Einstein effect. This matters when it comes to table topics mostly. You are given a topic, and obviously when it comes to hard work, whose name will come to your mind? Obviously Einstein will come, right? Albert Einstein. Or when it comes to honesty, whose name will come to your mind? Probably Mahatma Gandhi will come. So don't fall for the Einstein effect. When you are giving the speech or when you are evaluating the speech, you would see that, okay, his eye contact was fantastic. And again, you are the first speaker, probably you get the brownie point because nobody spoke before. The second speaker, evaluator comes, Toastmaster Ramesh, the eye contact that you had was amazing. And the third speaker again comes, your eye contact was fantastic. That was why I did not go for the grammar aspect in my evaluation, but that did not go very well because that was obvious. So sometimes it is a bonus point, sometimes it's not. So usually I would suggest that don't go for the Einstein effect. Rather focus on the content of the speech. What is the message? Is the speaker or does the speaker give justice to the message? Is it crystal clear as an audience? That's what your focus should be. And second one is you are not a juggler. This is how not to win the contest. Toastmaster Sudheesh, your eye contact was fantastic. On the other hand, you should have used your voice modulation. When I talk about positives, yes, your content was mastered. On the other hand, so you are not a juggler. You need to have a proper structure. When you're talking about the positives, try to cover positives 1, 2, 3. Finish it off. Then go to the recommendations 1, 2, 3. Don't juggle in between. You will not win the contest. I can tell you. Because the judges will feel that, yeah, the structure, you lose mark on the structure. The structure carries the maximum mark. So never try to be a juggler. You need to have a proper structure. Prepare the sheet in a way that you have the positives on one side, recommendations on the other side, summation on the bottom. And when you are called upon, just see ABC, ABC, summarize. That's how you should go. Never try to be a juggler. Try the opposite way. As I said, probably you think that, okay, everybody, you know that, okay, eye contact was fantastic. But if you could get some aspect from that speech, thank you, where you talk about Toastmaster Ramesh, your eye contact could have been better. So 5 of the speakers have given eye contact was fantastic. Even the sleeping Toastmaster will wake up. What? Eye contact could have been better? If you give justice, why you are saying that eye contact could have been better? In that specific aspect when you're talking, definitely that will carry brownie point. So if you think from the speaker's point of view, there are different aspects of the speech, could have been better, or it's already better, try to find that one aspect that you feel that, okay, all others would have given specific feedback about this one. If I could convince in a way that the judges listen to my speech, definitely you will get brownie points. And the last one is prioritize your recommendations. I'd say like positives 1, 2, recommendations 1, 2, or maybe 3 and 2 also would be okay. So 3 positive aspects of the speech, 2 areas of improvement. But when you're giving the areas of improvement, give the areas of improvement in a way that you are giving your reasons why you feel that it could have been better. You need to justify that one. That is what carries marks for you. And this one is the kind of like a worksheet that you could use, but it's the same thing that on the left side you will have positives, on the other side you will have areas of improvement if you could maximize that. I know that you probably will be using similar ones. So what I like about your speech is 1, 2, 3. Then again on bottom you will have what you need to work upon. And if you have this kind of template, you can mark on the posture, appearance, what all he has, he or she has performed well, and what are the areas that you can work upon. When it comes to the speech opening, the word usage, humor, structure, and close. So try to use your own template. What I use is, I take the one sheet, then try to bend it like this. Then I write my positives on this side, areas of improvement over here. Then I would write them like this again, write my summation here. So likewise, I know that, okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, summarize. That's it. Maybe you use some other technique or some other worksheet as well. All right. I think that's the last one. Right? All right. Okay, that concludes the session. So we spoke about the structure of evaluation. You need to have proper structure, opening, introduction, different techniques that you can use for the introduction. Then the core evaluation, what are things that you will look from the core evaluation perspective, eye contact, structure, body, content, then the summation. So for the judges, obviously your analytical quality, how you are more focused towards the speech, are you giving crystal clear, focused, timely kind of message to the speaker, or are you trying to juggle between the positives and the areas of improvement? All these things matters. So in case if you have any doubts, I think I'll take the questions.
I will explain between gesture and posture, how we have to articulate and bring the body language together. Gesture and posture together. Point came there.
All right, okay. So if I have to deliver a speech, when I have a central message, I try to use the center stage, right? My posture would be like this. I would not move. I try to deliver, looking at the audience, this is my message. Specifically when I try to conclude, Toastmaster means, try to be like water, or be like a feather, try to float in the air. So that way, I'll try to deliver it from the center, using the center. Now, hand gestures, it again is like some people are very naturally inclined towards using the hand gestures as a speed. Some people, they are not very much inclined. So one of the things that I felt that could be used is try to use one hand and use the other one when you're speaking to someone. That way you grab the attention, and when you're going to this side, probably you try to use this one and try to use this one. Or in case if you have to convey the message to everyone, try to use open gestures. This is more opening. Everybody would feel that, okay, they are welcome, more opening towards everyone. So that's one thing. Posture, I would say like different aspects of your life. Maybe one story here, the other one here, right? And the other one here. That way you are using the stage as well. But there is no hard rule as such. I've seen like people delivering the speeches walking because they are in that mood of the speech and they feel that okay, they are more comfortable when they walk around. But that's not me. But they have won the contest as well. There is no hard rule as such. You have to be on the stage on the specific side. There is no rule. If you could connect with everyone, I think that should be. Or as an audience, you should not feel that okay, you are not taken into account. So if you could connect with everyone, looking at them, moving on the stage, using the stage probably that should.
Thank you.
How long do you have in a speech contest, in an evaluation contest, to create this evaluation after listening to the speech?
How long?
How much time do you have to come up
Okay,
with
yeah.
this evaluation?
So 5 minutes you get once the evaluator, once the speech has been concluded, you get 5 minutes to mark what are the points that you have. Then after the 5 minutes, the sheet that you have will be taken off by the sergeant at arms. The rest of the things will be in your mind. In case if you are lucky, you will be the first person to be called upon. So that's why the structure really matters. Always try to imagine that you are the first one who is going on stage. That way you will have a proper structure, and that way you will not struggle when it comes to be there on the stage, because you don't get extra time, right? Otherwise, if you are the second or third speaker, obviously you could use that extra 5 or 10 minutes where you are sitting on the other row. You could think about other aspects. So in case if you are not the first one, probably something that you can think about is to use acronym, as I said, PACE. So that way I know that, okay, I already jotted down PACE as my structure. That means the positive aspects, PACE, probably on the other side also something of that sort. So try to connect with that, that way you will not struggle. You don't need the paper. When you are given the paper, you just look at that one, yes, yes, that, you can go and deliver. And with experience, you can deliver without even looking at the sheet. I've seen like people using the sheets, or they deliver without using the sheets as well. Any other questions?
So, it's a very basic question. In my club, there was one person who was given the speech for the pathway of body language and vocabulary. But the evaluation was given, it was a very good speech, but the evaluation was like, it went a little more theoretic, like theater-like. It went a little that way. So So what do you think, how much should be, body language and vocal variety should be in the speech? Like if say 70% or 80%, so that it does not distract the audience.
Okay, so that specific project was specifically about body language and use of the vocal varieties.
But usually we say that in our speeches we should have vocal variety and body language. Right?
Yeah, so vocal variety again, when it comes to the core message, it has to be crystal clear, it should be audible, and you need to have that pause because that is the core message that you're delivering. That should have that authenticity, that should be crystal clear. Be like water, float in the air. That is the vocal variety that you need to have. Or when it comes to, again, in case if the speech is about pheromones, I was addicted and nobody wants that help. That emotion, that slowness, that feeling should be there. So when it comes to vocal variety, you would obviously know that whether the speaker is using his tonality, the pitch, the bass, the tone, right? Then voice modulation. And body language, specifically about the hand gestures, as I said, that's one thing. Then probably the stage movement, the focus towards the audience, you see delivering the message properly, looking into the eyes, right? That again matters because you need to have the courage to look into your eyes and convey the message. But when it comes to the project speech, obviously that should be your objectives. If it is body language, vocal variety, that must be your priority, nothing else. You can use other aspects if you feel that, okay, that is contributing towards that objective, right? In case if eye contact is required when he was delivering that specific message, if it's not there, you can say that, okay, eye contact would have been better in that aspect. But for project, that should be the focus, objective of the speech. Anything else? Alright, with this I conclude and I wish you all the best. I'm sure that some of you probably would have got some of the nitty-gritties from today's speech or the presentation. In case if you have any doubts, you can connect with me offline. I'll give my email address as well. And with this I wish you all the very best and I would like you to be the champion. When I say you, all of you to be the champion when it comes to the evaluation contest. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Sudheesh, for that wonderful educational session. How many of you enjoyed it?
All of us. All of us. All of us.
Okay, let's quickly move on to the second session, that is the table topic session. And today the table topic master is a HR by profession, HR manager by profession. She loves to travel. She has a passion for mandala art, just like me, and she's a dedicated guitarist and loves to bake. And since day one, I have seen her, and she has been very curious and very active member of Toastmaster, I would say. And without further ado, let us welcome our table topic master for today, Toastmaster Sakshi, with a huge round of applause.
Thank you, Pavani, for the lovely introduction. Toastmasters of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to one of the most exciting segment of our Toastmasters meeting. I'm absolutely thrilled to be your Toastmasters table topic masters for today. This session is all about thinking on your feet and speaking spontaneously, which is a fantastic way to enhance our public speaking odyssey and learning more about each other. How many of you believe that table topics can benefit us in our daily lives? Yes. I can tell you from my personal experience. Today morning, when my manager threw curveball questions on me, thanks to the impromptu speaking skills which we learned on this table topic sessions, I managed to navigate through it as smoothly, and I convinced my manager that I am expert in the field. Even I didn't hear about that topic. Who knew that rambling with confidence could be such a superpower? For the benefit of guests, let me explain how table topic sessions work. I will present a topic to a participant. You will then speak on this topic for minimum 1 minute and for maximum 2.5 minutes. Our timer will display a green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1.5 minutes and red card at 2 minutes. There will be a grace period of 30 seconds after 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, right? So now let's dive into our first topic and see where our spontaneous creativity takes us. So the first topic is first steps, and the first participant is Toastmaster Anirudh. Toastmasters Anirudh, first steps.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The topic that I have received for today is first steps. The first step that I can speak about here is probably the first step that we've all had into this room. Probably the first step into Toastmasters as well for most of you if it is your first club. My first step into Toastmasters was in this room. I signed up as a member in February maybe this year, but my first step was back in November 21, was it? Fun fact, it was the day when our president delivered his icebreaker back then. I was a guest and he had a huge man bun and he delivered this amazing speech, and I decided that day that one day I want to be able to speak like that, and it was a scary step honestly, and I had a friend back then who brought me to this club and he helped me walk my first step into this room. He is unfortunately not a member, at least as of now, in this club, but I think I'll fondly look back on that first step into this club. And today I am very hopeful of the skills that I will probably develop over time as I attend these meetings regularly, and I'd like to extend a huge sort of feeling of gratitude to everybody who is getting this club running, because it's helped so many of us through our first steps and more steps to come. So thank you so much.
Our next topic is guiding principles, and it goes to Toastmaster Gajendra. Guiding principles, Toastmaster Gajendra.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests present. We all have a certain principles we all follow in our lives. That I don't have to do that, I don't have to do this. If I do that, you just do something to yourself. I'm not in a very dark way, but in a way that you just so something like, let me, for example, I have a principle to be kind to people, because apparently my appearance is very rude, some people have told, so I be very kind, and I just try to talk very softly, and when I talk softly, I talk in a very low voice, and people tell me to speak up. And I don't know where I'm going with this topic right now. And there are a few principles in life I follow, like don't come prepared next time. I'm always punctual whenever I go. Just hardly, I think only twice or thrice I've been late to even a Toastmasters meeting, which always starts late. I think that's it for now. Thank you.
Next topic is bright moments. Bright moments, and this topic goes to Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. Bright.
Good evening, Toastmasters, welcome guests. Pride movement. When I shifted from electrical engineering to finance, as far as the professional change is concerned, without even knowing the nitty-gritties of finance field, I entered and understood what exactly I need to do in that particular area. Took little time. I was put in sales and marketing division. Everyone was running to achieve their targets. I was a person who was sitting in the office making some strategies as to how to go about it. My immediate manager came and asked me, why you are sitting in the office? Why you are not going to the field? I told him I am working on some strategies. He says strategies will not work in finance. But I stood my ground. The reason behind that is, we follow herd. We don't decide what we want exactly. We don't decide what the target audience should be, where I should work, where the results are likely to be. So I had my own methods and started working on that. Within 6 months, I achieved my targets and I also surpassed previous records. Then people started realizing what this guy is doing at all. So it's always better, go deep inside yourself, understand where your strengths are, rather than blindly following the herd. Thereby, all of you can achieve your own pride moments, as I have achieved mine. Thank you very much.
Next topic is learning from mistakes, and it goes to Toastmaster Chetan. Learning from mistakes.
Okay, so I get up in the morning and I go swimming. At 5:30 in the morning, I go to the cold Bengaluru pool, where my coach yells at me every day. But why would I do this? Why would I go at 5:30 and put myself through torture for 2 hours with a man yelling at me? Simple, to learn from my mistakes. When you go into the pool and you swim, when you start off, you generally take, a minute and a half, 2 minutes maybe, to get to those first 50 meters. And then as you keep correcting your mistakes, you'll realize that swimming comes down to 2 things, propulsion and drag. As a beginner, you do everything to propel yourself forward. You push harder and harder and harder, and yet you go nowhere. Never. And then you need some wise person to come up to you and tell you, hey, the harder you push, the harder it resists. The force you apply on the water, actually the force of resistance is proportional to the square of the velocity you travel with. So the faster you go, the faster it pushes back at you, which means all your muscles get tired and it hurts. So now, to recover from this, you need to not make this mistake. So we start working on our drag. We start working on minimizing the drag. You start working on not using these shoulder muscles. You start working on lifting your legs in the water. And you learn from all of these silly little mistakes until you can finally swim beautifully. And reaching 1 minute then is possible. Until you look at the kids who swim next to you. They swim 50 meters in 40 seconds, 30 seconds. And then you reach the national levels where they go in 25 seconds. I'm still at the miserable 1 minute mark, so that's why I go. Thank you.
Next topic is personal milestones. Personal milestones. The topic goes to Toastmaster U Bhat.
Madam Topic Master for a Toastmasters and welcome guests. You are asking about personal milestones. Life is about milestones. From the day a baby is born, every step it takes, the time it starts crawling, that is a milestone for it. When it tries to build the baby steps, tries to stand up on its own leg, it's a milestone, and once it achieves that milestone, you can see the smile on the face of the baby. And the same thing continues throughout our lives. We are looking for, there is nothing called a goal in life. It's a series of goals, it's a series of milestones what you achieve in life. So one milestone achieved is the time for achieving the next milestone. You create your own milestone and achieve them. And that's what life is all about. And it is nothing to do, it is not that you have got one thing in mind and you achieved it and you are successful. No, it's not like that. Once you achieve one milestone, you are always looking for something. And that is the essence of life, and this is the growth we are looking for. Doing newer and newer things, achieving bigger and bigger things, creating newer and newer milestones, and achieving and getting the satisfaction of achieving that. So that is all life is about. So milestones are important, whether it is for a small baby or to an adult or a student or anyone for that matter, from the birth to death. And because that's all life is made of. Back to you.
Next topic is daily inspirations. Daily inspirations, topic goes to Toastmaster Jyothi.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Good evening. Well, daily inspirations. I think every morning we get up, it's an inspiration that we are awake and we have to take the day. So each moment, each day itself is an inspiration. I think for an individual, the inspiration actually should be they themselves. Because each of our dream is unique. What inspires me, for someone it might be some very stupid things, and vice versa. So when we say that another person inspires us, it means, I think, we are actually in a frame of mind where we are half asleep and are not aware that that we as an individual are lagging behind in our daily moment life, the moment of life. And that is why when someone says something and we just get alert and we say, okay, I'm inspired by you. And that is the moment when the life within has woken up at that moment, which had been asleep. And that is the reason we think we are inspired from someone, but actually the inspiration itself is from the core of within. And I think this inspiration topic has inspired me to be alert in life. Thank you.
Toastmaster Madhusudan. The topic is support systems. Support system, Toastmaster.
Support systems. I'm sure nobody here can go without support systems. My support systems especially are my grandparents and my friends from college, because I feel these are the only people with whom I can be myself. At home with my parents or with my cousins or my uncles and aunts, it's a big joint family by the way, I feel like I can't open up, but with these specific people, whatever I have in my mind, I can share. So I feel my support system so far has helped me be what I am today, and I'm sure support systems are necessary for everyone to survive this journey of life and keep continuing to do better and improve yourselves. And I'm sure, I think I have just this much to say. Support systems are the best you can hope for, and if you don't have one, please do get one, because in life you need one.
The next topic is small wins. Small wins. Topic goes to Toastmaster Sanjay. Small wins.
Good evening, Toastmasters, and welcome this small wins. My small wins is after completing my 10th standard, where my parents are surprised, which I have got 85% in 10th. Later on, moving to the diploma, where I have backlogs, where I was not studying well. Then I challenged my dad that I will clear everything. In one semester total, I have 7 backlogs. I cleared everything, and I surprised my dad also. And I got my bike as a gift. And coming to the engineering life, I challenged, my family was now supporting to send me to the engineering because I was so dull in my diploma. After I challenged them, I'll do engineering, I'll complete within 3 years. I completed my engineering, and I challenged my parents, family and everything, I completed this.
It's a big one.
Next topic is everyday heroes. Everyday heroes. Topic goes to Toastmaster Apoorva.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
Everyday heroes. I feel in life, we don't recognize our everyday heroes, be it our parents or a sibling or a teacher, or when we come to the seniors, our mentors. It's almost like a process. We are so used to our life leading in such a way that we get up, we don't recognize. Now that I got married and I have a kid myself, I realize the value of my mom. Waking up every day early in the morning and making breakfast for me and making sure everything is good in a way, everything is perfect, setting up the dining table to every little thing. Now that when I am doing it, I know how troubling or exhausting it is when you start doing it on a daily basis. Sometimes I feel I need a break. So we don't realize the value of our everyday heroes, we just take them for granted. We don't realize their worth. Only once you cross that particular phase of life, you realize their value. Be it your dad, your mom, or my sibling. When I'm not around with my brother, like before wedding, we were together. We had a lot of bonding time, playing, talking, and all that. Now that I've moved here, it's drastically reduced. So even today, when I get low or feel helpless, he's one person I go to a call, give him a call and speak. But that we don't realize the help or the contribution they're doing to our lives until we have moved on. So maybe we should start valuing every person around us, be it friends, family, our teachers, our mentors, everybody. It's time we value them so that there is no regrets, rather we have gratitude towards all of them. Thank you.
And our last topic, future goals. Future goals goes to Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa. Future goals.
Ellarigu namaskara. Future goals. I have a lot of, I'm 77 years old here. Still I have a lot of goals in my life. See, I am running an industry which was started from the scratch. Absolutely, we used to walk to run that industry. Today it has grown up like a tree. About 250 employees are working with us. Apart from that, I had some personal goals also to this thing. First thing was, I am little bit deviating. I wanted to make electronic city green. That was my ambition. Because by cutting the trees, I have been educated. Wherein I wanted to pay back to the community or to the society. I started planting the trees. So next is how to improve my factory. So we the founders were working in the beginning. Then slowly we grow up. Each even 1,000 mileage monthly journey starts with the first step. Like that we started in a garage. Then we moved to a rented building. Then we moved to a spacious place in Electronic City. At present, 250 employees are working. So my business has gone up to 65 crores this year. Being old, I thought how to improve my business. Whatever the plan I made, it is saturating there only. What I made was, I came across a person, beautiful person. I heard him, sir, I wanted to join with you. I wanted to take this company to the higher heights. Don't pay me the salary. Have you ever such thing? Very experienced man who was working in a multinational companies, who had a lot of experience in Japan. He told me, I want to work with you. I don't know how you came to us. He is there. I am sure with that, my company will definitely goes to the 100 crores shortly. Apart from that, he has a lot of contacts in Japan. With that help, I started one more company called Siscon Sibarka India Private Limited. He is planning to make toys, my dear friends. So, you need to have an ambition. Apart from that, you need to be honest, integrate in your life. That is most important. Be honest, be sincere, and be with God. Definitely God will help you.
Thank you everyone for the amazing speeches. With that, I would like to hand over the stage to our Toastmasters of the day, who will guide us further in the enlightening journey. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you, Mr. Sakshi, for that wonderful table topic session. Let's have a 5 minutes networking break and a round of applause for Toastmaster Sakshi. Let's have 5 minutes of networking break and gather up. Yes, welcome back everyone. So now it is time for the important or the crucial session, that is the general evaluation session. And the general evaluator for today, he is the proprietor of Messrs Ultra Care Professional Services. He holds a BSc degree and a diploma in business management from Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. He enjoys watching sports and reading newspapers and periodicals, even though he carries some guilt for not reading books. Please help me in please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Ravikumar, the general evaluator for today.
Thank you, MC, for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, all.
Good evening.
A little louder, please.
Good evening.
Yeah, thank you. Now, general evaluation, I'll just say one or two words about general evaluation. General evaluation is a mirror. It's a reflection of what exactly happened, the 2-3 sessions that we had today. We discuss about the good things done and not so good things done, and we try to correct that same mistakes we don't repeat in our next meetings. That is the main objective of general evaluation. Now, today's general evaluation, I'll try to do it chronologically, and I'll do my best because the time is catching up. I'll be brief. For any bullet points that if I have missed, President can bring it to my notice. Now, a word or two about the theme. generally the theme, we get the notice about the meeting, we look for the theme, what exactly it is. Now, our today's theme is inspirational, motivational. There is something to take home. And this theme will connect with all of us. Light the path will connect with all of us. And there is a purpose in this theme. And this theme will be remembered for quite some time. So such themes which will residue in our mind for some time is a welcome, and I really appreciate MC for this, bringing this theme today, and which has a takeaway and which can connect, which can influence, blah blah. View on the business session, renewal for October March, rupees 930 into 6 months, which amounts to about 5,580, and President has told the different modes of payment, and eventually he also told that everything is the same, the bottom line is the same, we are going to pay the same amount. Now, rules for 9th September meeting, Monday meeting, it was read by the MC, and she also told about the 23rd September, the context for table topic and evaluation. Comments on when the meeting started. Meeting started at 6:31 p.m. today exactly. Interestingly, at 6:15 we were just about 6-7 members here, and by 6:31 it was close to 17-18 members. Ideally, I feel we have been talking, but it is best that the role takers in particular and people who are very close by to Mekong, I think we should make it to reach here by between 6:10, 6:11, 6:12. For any train, the last 70-80% of the passengers board the train 15 minutes before the departure of the train. So likewise, let us about 80% come here just before the departure, starting with the meeting. So that's very important. And yes, that's what happened. Remarks on Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Shreya. President's introduction, very well done. You have been doing it, and today you bring different flavors every time you do an introduction. And this time also you did it very comfortably and conveniently. And the value addition of the Sergeant at Arms, I always say that Sergeant at Arms kickstarts the meeting, navigates, and ensures the beginning of the meeting and the end of the meeting we carry the same theme. So that was done very well, and that you have helped the MC, the President, eventually the whole audience know today that light the path is what it means, and that you did exceedingly well. What was the value addition? Value addition, you did say that light the path, we can also look at parents, teachers, gurus, and others wherever we are able to look into that. And that North Star, the guiding light which you did metaphorically, it was very, very good. And the whole story that you narrated, I will not dive into it. It was excellent, and it connected with the theme beautifully. A big round of applause for he was doing consistently doing a good job in the lecture. Then presidential address, a quick review. You acknowledged the wonderful introduction she did. Guest introduction was done, and you obtained the minutes of the meeting 1279, and acting secretary Toastmaster Pavani read the secretary's report, read clearly and chronologically, obtained the acceptance, except there was a change in the grammarian which you brought into the notice. Then I'll quickly just tell you, you have brought a class in the President's address that you do consistently, week after week. So that is what I have noticed. There is no mediocrity in your performance behind the lectern. Consistently you do it. How you do it, we really wonder, it is surprising. There must be some effort going behind this wonderful effort. Then another thing that comes to my mind, which I should not miss, is our president always comes with a good attire, good presentation, and he does everything neatly. That's why I said a class. A class means in anything and everything that he does, there is a class. That's all. A big round of applause for President Shivaprasad. Today we skipped, there was no speakers, so individual evaluators and all that, we just move on. And I would like to see actually what happened. I was very little nervous there when Sudheesh was talking about how that evaluation is done and my role after that interval. So don't judge me on what he said and how we did, please. So judge me on Mondays. He said no, your eye contact. So judge me on that basis. Perfect. Sir, you brought a huge value into the evaluation session that you did. Needless to mention, it was prepared, homework was done, and needless to mention, the audience realized that you are an expert in this field and therefore you are very comfortable to give examples, to give clarifications, and also elaborate the bullet points that you had mentioned. So unless you are very comfortable and very it is very difficult to talk on your own subject. You did exceedingly well, you motivated us, and I tell you it was a great lesson for particularly newcomers. And as far as we people who have been here for quite some time, in our pharmaceutical selling, every 3 years, 4 years, if you are not doing well and you are about 75-80% of the target, they call you and give you a refresher course on anatomy and physiology. And again, you go back and do very well in the field. Likewise, your teaching on evaluation, general evaluation, the particularly speakers on the contest perspective, it was wonderful. And a big round of applause for BPM Sudheesh. Little more louder. Now, quickly visit the table topic master, Toastmaster Sakshi. Where are you? You are here. Now I will tell you, Sakshi, you did a wonderful job. Is it a debut effort today? Debut means first time did you do it? Unbelievable. Okay. The beautiful things that you did is the topics were simple. Like what? I have just made a note. First step, guiding principles, bright moments, such, and even personal milestones, daily inspirations. You did not elaborate, it was all straightforward, simple topics, and everybody participated. All the 10 members participated, and none has done less than a minute. That gives beauty to the topic, and the way you had made a homework. And as a debutant, what exactly two things that you did very well was, how many of you agree that the table topic helps you in your life and things like that? Okay. So you brought in some kind of a curiosity, some kind of involvement, and everybody was looking at what Sakshi would ask me and what Sakshi has in her mind. A. B. You said that today with my boss I could encounter, and in that encounter I was the winner, you said. So, and you reinforced the value of table topic before the session. That was very, very nice. Okay. And second or third topic, before revealing the topic, you just looked at everybody and then you gave as if you are a seasoned table topic master, right? And overall, a fantastic table topic session. A big round of applause to table topic master Sakshi. Coming to comments on MC's performance, you are a seasoned Toastmasters of our club, Mekon. You have taken so many roles and I have been seeing that you always take one or the other role, and you are a part of the structure of Mekong communication job, always, ever since you have joined, right? And you are confidently intellectual, connected drafts smoothly, very conveniently and appropriately. Okay, and you also integrated the drafts smoothly and the theme, like the path, to bring the audience and get the audience involved once again into the theme. That is very important. Revisiting the theme again and again is very important, whichever way we do it. And obtained the introduction of TAPG team and their role definitions, and you have been doing every job very consistently and excellently, and no different. Today was no different. A big round of applause for Toastmasters. A big round of applause. General points of the meeting. I feel the attendance.
Road takers.
I will. Yeah. Thanks. As far as the general points of the meeting, today's attendance, I repeat that we can always still have a better attendance, and the committee, however you can influence people to come on a Monday evening and attend the meeting. You try your own methods. I have no formula to give, but we have to do it. I personally feel this for Mekong attendance is the very thing, according to me. Now, I will quickly take, I would request the roll takers. The roll takers, may I request the timer, Rachana, to give your report. A round of applause.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ravikumar. Here's something I didn't notice until today, but it says time manager's report on this. So it was a pleasure to be your time manager today. Here goes the timing of today's session. We started at 6:31 p.m. The welcome by Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Shreya took 2 minutes 32 seconds when the allotted time was 2 to 3 minutes. The presidential address by Toastmaster Shivaprasad took 5 minutes 27 seconds when the allotted time was 5 minutes. The report on previous meeting by Toastmaster Pavani took 2 minutes when the allotted time was 2 minutes. Toastmaster Pavani, as the master of ceremony, took total of 6 to 7 minutes so far when the allotted time is 20 minutes. The educational session by DTM Sudheesh took 45 minutes in total. It included a 6.5 minute Q&A. The table topic session took about 25 minutes when the allotted time was 20 minutes. We had 10 speakers in total, and the break took 7 minutes when the allotted time was 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachana, for that brief and wonderful job. A round of applause, please. I now request Toastmaster Bhavana about the art counter that you have.
Good evening, everyone. So, Toastmasters' journey is an odyssey, and I hope today's report, my report of the for today, will help everyone to improve themselves. So here's the report. Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Shreya, 2 hours. Acting President Toastmaster Shiva, 2 hours. Toastmaster Pavani, 5 hours. Repeated words so, and 1 Timer Toastmaster Rachana, 2 hours. Our counter Toastmaster Bhavana, but I'm still speaking, so. But till now, as of now, 2 hours and 1 Grammarian Toastmaster Akshay, 2 hours. PP Evaluator Toastmaster Madhusudan, flawless. For speeches, the first speaker DTM Sudheesh, 3 hours. and the repeated words were so and right. Table topic master, Toastmaster Sakshi, 1 hour, and the table topic speakers, Toastmaster Anirudh, the 2 hours, and the repeated word was and. Toastmaster Gajendra, repeated words were and like. Toastmaster Vijay Upendra, flawless. Toastmaster Chetan, flawless. Toastmaster U Bhat, flawless. Toastmaster Jyothi, 5 hours and 2 pauses. Toastmaster Madhusudan, flawless. Toastmaster Sanjay, 2 hours. Toastmaster Apoorva, 3 hours. Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa, repeated word, the repeated word was so. Toastmaster Ravikumar, 5 hours, and repeated words were and now, and 1 pause. Thank
you. Thank you, Bhavana. A good report of our counter, and a round of applause for those. It was blemishless and could find no R's in their speeches, and a wonderful job for Rachana. There were few who had no R's at all today. I now request the Toastmaster Akshay to give his Grammarian report.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
Good evening.
The word of the day was used by very few people. Our President Toastmaster Shiva used it once. Our TAPG Toastmaster Pavani used it twice. Table topic master Sakshi used it once, and our counter Toastmaster Bhavana used it once. Then coming to the good usages and not so good usages. There are so many good usages. I thought there will be there is only one speaker and one evaluator. There will be no much of to hear today. I'll be happy sitting on. But yeah, beacon of hope, avid reader, infiltrated, reinforcement, cats and dogs, trembling in fear, paved the way, not a juggler, thinking on your feet, threw curveball, fondly looked back, stood my ground, blemishless. There are a few not so good usages. Lighted the path could have been lit the path. Tell you to could have been ask you to. Does it sound like authentic? Could have been does it sound authentic? Hard rule could have been hard and fast rule. Theatre like could have been theatrical. Impromptu, it's not impromptu, it's impromptu. Troubling could have been troublesome. Residue in your mind could have been reside in your mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Akshay, for that wonderful report. I now request PP Evaluator Madhusudan to
So, off the bat, I'd like to say that my job today was no big odyssey. It was actually very easy. And also the parliamentary procedure followed was almost impeccable, except for that one phone ring just now. Apart from this, nobody spoke anything about politics, sex, or religion. Nobody entered or exited the room during any speech. And as far as I noticed, there were no crosstalks. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madhusudan, for that PP evaluation. Now, I quickly request, I'll give 1 minute time for you to fill up the ballots. Please. Over. quickly closing remark of the meeting. A wonderful meeting today, and the session was the value addition that we had from Jyothi and Sudheesh, and all the participants, table speakers, and the role takers. A big thank you for everybody, and back to MC.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ravikumar, for such a wonderful general evaluation session. That's all from my end, and with this, I'll hand over the charge back to the President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pavani. Thank you to every member that has come in today and enjoyed this meeting. First of all, I have to profusely thank our excellent speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Sudheesh. I know you've travelled a large distance to come here, and that session, I'll tell you, most people, about 80% in this room, are new members. So we absolutely needed that session so that they'd get some clarity on evaluations as well. And given that we have the contest in a couple of weeks, I'm sure we'll have a lot more people participating in it as well. So a big thank you for coming in today. And of course, our role takers, I have nothing to say because it's time to jump into the winners of today's meeting. Getting to the best role taker, TAPG. Well, he said his English is not good, but it turns out he was born to do this role. It goes to our Grammarian Toastmaster Akshay. Best table topic speaker for today. Well, if you want to know how to swim more efficiently, you go to this man. It goes to Toastmaster Chetan. And finally, we have the best role taker, MTG. Well, a century on debut is how I can describe this. The topics were just 2 words long, but the impact was far, far bigger. It goes to our table topics master, Toastmasters. That's it for the winners. Congratulations to all the winners. And in the interest of time, I request all our members to continue networking downstairs once we're done here. With that, I close meeting number 1208.